Hey everybody. Because I have 10,000 subscribers and I'm able to stream whenever I want, wherever I want, because I can do it on my phone, I decided I'm just going to test it out. Because now I have unlimited data on my phone plan because competition is great. I really love that pretty much everyone can have unlimited data, Anyways, that's my car. Anyways, I got a minute, and Poseidon Kicklidon asked to have me give my thoughts on the implosion of the Justice Democrats. So, here goes. I thought it was really, really mean that press release that the Justice Democrats gave about Cenk. I mean, what he did was like 18 fucking years ago, and it was an entire political epiphany ago. Like, that would be, so stupid for them to call out somebody if they distance themselves from something that they did like 5 years ago. But for 18 years ago, like, do you remember what mindset you were in 18 freaking years ago? I know I do. I know I was in an army unit that watched Sky News, which was the European equivalent of Fox News, like 24/7. And not even realizing that they were being indoctrinated by that conservative bent, So yeah, I feel like when they put out that press release, just totally condemning him for something like that. It's like there's a reason why artists have juvenilia, that they decide, before this point in my career, I was not an artist as I am now. So I don't want you guys to look at that as something that I am, right? Let's see. I'm going to do all live chat to see what this looks like. Not being able to see your chat on this. But I can make myself a dance party. Oh, that's awesome. These options suck. But I'll leave it on dance party. What the fuck? So, yeah, when I was looking at this implosion, and then after Cenk removes himself from the media wing of the Justice Democrats, Kyle Kalinske follows, like the same day. I was like, you know what? This really ruins some of the follow-up measurements that I was trying to take on what they're doing. And what do I mean by that? Well, I see chat. It's GhostDog999. It says, hi, Agent of Doubt. Hi, Ghost Dog. Anyways. Kyle Kalinske, right after the latest elections last November, made a whole bunch of videos saying, this is a great win, and this is a great win for our side, the side of progressivism, the side of social justice, the side of Bernie Sanders. He was all about like, this is a great win, this is a great win. Look what happened to this, this backlash against the Republicans is happening, right? Oh, by the way, please donate to the Justice Democrats if you want to see more of this, right? So I tweeted at him twice. Twice I tweeted at him, hey, Kyle, how many of those wins were actually from Justice Democrats, right? No response. Now, I'm a small YouTuber. Of course, I don't deserve to have my tweets answered, all the time, because who am I, right? I'm just another guy in a sea of people, and he probably gets tweets all the time. But if he's being honest, with the fundraising of it, it shouldn't be something like, oh, look at this one, look at this one, look at this one. If you want to see more, give money to the Justice Democrats, when none of those people that he's talking about were actually Justice Democrats when he was talking about them, when they got elected. Now, there have been incumbents that the incumbents wanted to join the Justice Democrats, and so they have candidates that actually have office now. But how many wins do they have? Right? That's what I want to know. And I pretty much know the answer. Like a lawyer only asking questions that he knows the answer to, right? But what I wanted to do was take the races that they are, that they're in, that they want to put forth candidates in, and then count how many they win and how many they lose. I wanted to do this in 2018, right? To show, like, this is how many races there were. This is what percentage of races the Justice Democrats actually had a dog in the race, or sorry, a dog in the fight. I'm mixing up my fucking metaphors, but you know what I'm saying. And then show the percentage of how many they won. You know, because they're doing this unilateral disarming of themselves by taking no corporate or business money and only taking small donations from private citizens, right? Could this be something that wins? I wish it were, you know, but, you know, that's a fantasy world when you're just unilaterally disarming and saying, you know what, we wish there were campaign finance reforms that actually worked, but since there aren't, we're just going to, you know, disarm ourselves, you know, and we're going to be the ones who are ethical in this, even though we're not expecting our opponents to be. That's fucking retarded. And that's what they're doing, right? You guys don't like the dance party? Here, let me use bubbles. Fuck y'all. Anyways, here's glamour. I don't know what that's supposed to do to me. 8mm. That looks cool. Anyways, I wanted to measure the outcome of the 2018 election and then compare it to the statements that Kyle Kulinski was making when they were raising funds. But now I feel like all the measures that I was looking at making are now measuring something that isn't the same, because Kyle Kulinski and Cenk Uygur are no longer associated with Justice Democrats the way that they were, you know? And I feel like we're not measuring something that is what it could have been. I mean, Justice Democrats, without their media wing, without the hip youngsters that can get people involved and get people caring about them, without that, they're not the same, you know? So holding them to that standard of, well, where did this money go? And did your concept work? Well, it didn't have a chance to work. They shot themselves in the foot, you know? And to see in that public statement about Cenk, where Justice Democrats distanced themselves from him, to see the tone that they were setting was the same as the social justice warriorism that we see just completely trounced here on YouTube all the time. The kind of thing that you would think that if Cenk and Kyle were a part of this thing, that they would be able to teach them, hey, you know, don't go overboard with that social justice thing. You know, don't start doing witch hunts and all that other stuff. You know, actually look at context. You know, those two, I feel like their values are in line with social justice, but they're not bad people, you know. But when you see that what's left of the Justice Democrats must be run by the bad ones, you don't want to be a part of it. You don't want to even see it succeed, you know. If they're going to hold somebody accountable for something that they've distanced themselves from a decade ago, and then, kick them out of their organization, after they've already had like a political epiphany and reformed themselves, and somebody who's done so much good for their side and promoted them. If they can eat their own like that, who wants to fucking have anything to do with them? I don't. Still, in 2018, in November, I'm going to be looking at all the races that they say they have candidates in, and I'll measure, like, what was their success, and is it worth all the money that they fucking raised from individual people? And would it have been worth it to maybe get some corporate sponsors? Right? I'll still look into it, but not with the same passion, And I feel like Kyle found a way to get out of me criticizing him for this, that they're fighting a losing cause by eschewing big money. Because now he's not responsible for the outcome of the elections because they didn't want Cenk's help, They didn't want the TYT network's help anymore. And it's just not the same thing that I'm looking at. It's not the same push. It's not the same vehicle, And that's how I feel about the implosion at the Justice Democrats. Now, how do I turn this off? I'm just going to hit X.